He and his wife Melinda just crossed the Pacific for the second time together. 20-year difference between the two trips. First time in a dog patch 26 that they completed in 11 days, 9 hours, 35 minutes, and 10 seconds. And this time in the Donovan 30 Wolfpack, which took 12 days, 13 hours, 21 minutes, and 55 seconds. Yet they are the winners of the double-handed Colia class, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you guys are sitting pretty high in the group settings, as well as not too bad on the overall competition. So let's start with the 20 years between the trips, Bill. What possessed you guys at this tender age to do it all over again?
Well, we've been talking about doing it ever since we finished the last time, 20 years ago. And then we just got busy with work, you know?
Yeah.
And just never quite happened, and we decided it's 20 years, and there was a little bit of break. At the time we decided to do it, there was a little bit of a break, and of course things changed and we got busy again, but we decided we were just going to stay on course and get it done. And so we did it, and we figured it was a good time to get it done now and go for it. Now we want to go again.
right on.
But we can't wait another 20 years. Let's put it on a cruise ship.
How did you guys choose the Donovan 30 over anything else?
We wanted to stay trailerable. We wanted to stay light, and it's quite light. It's the lightest boat in that range, size range. We want to keep it to keep it the right length and weight, so that it was manageable in big breeze, which the Donovan's right on the edge, ragged edge of, and but definitely doable. Wanted something that had the potential to be driven hard in big breeze and without reducing sail, which we seem to have nailed. We didn't have a lot of that breeze in this race, but what we did get, a couple of nights of it, thing was beautiful, full-size kite in 25 to 32 knots, no problem, all night long.
What kind of speeds were you seeing?
During the two windy sessions that we had, we would get sort of, the thing would be coasting around 12s, 11s, and 12s, and then in the puffs you'd get 15s, 16s, and in the bigger puffs, when you started reaching 30 knots, you'd all of a sudden be getting 17s, burstings, 18s, and we got 20s like half a dozen times.
Yeah.
So, thing for a little 30-footer, it rips.
And some of the single-handers that we had talked to earlier had talked about setting their kites and being able to go to sleep or sleep in the cockpit while things are going, and adjusting things as things went awry. How did you guys react when you had round-ups, round-downs, or anything like that?
Yeah, we rounded up a few times, but we had snuffers on the A2 and A4, and so when if we had a roundup, all you had to do is start winding on a self-healing winch, and the thing would snuff, and you could actually do it yourself. You can get the thing back on its speed, and then uncleat it and let it unsnuff, and off you go again. So.
Okay, and how much did the auto helm or the autopilot steer the boat?
Let's see, if you add it up totally, it'd probably be about 0. No, we didn't invest enough time or energy into our auto helm again. But actually, with doubts that it could handle, we'd have to reduce sail for it to balance out enough or slow it down enough that the boat was so quick, and a little helm movements made a big difference.
Uh-huh.
And to keep it tracking, I think you'd have to hand steer, so we did.
Okay. And any pratfalls or downfalls to the Donovan 30 that you can think of?
No, I think for this race, it's an ideal boat. One downside, we regret not having made a Dodger for the boat. But again, I didn't sort of prioritize it. I just said, we'll just toughen up and get wet. Which we were fine, because we didn't have any wind.
Okay.
So at the end, when we went through that storm and it rained for 12 hours and it was reachy and wavy and the boat just got trashed down below wet. So a Dodger would have gone a long way. So I think we could do that for sure next time.
Okay.
But other than that, never took out the toolkit. We had to take the sail repair kit out once because we didn't have spreader patch scratches on the tips. And when we were in 40 knots of breeze, jib reaching, poked a little hole, upper spreader in the main, so we dropped the main, put some sticky back on there and rehoisted it, and off we went.
Okay.
That was really the only issue we had the whole race.
Okay. And comparing it to the dog patch which you used 20 years ago?
Very similar boat. This one's just much more powerful and longer. Light, so easy. Everything's easy. Nothing pulled too hard, and this one's a lot noisier. The dog patch is a wood boat, so when it pounds, the waves slap the side. The dog patch is nice and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Just a carbon boat, bangs and pops and pings, and it was loud down below for sure.
Yeah, kind of like the boat you helped prep Frank Slootman's RP-63. Did you have any
loud.
communications with them, those guys out there?
Oh yeah, no. We were both in the same line when we shifted from south to north. We cut across to the mid course, and when that high started to reduce in the middle of the course, and the southerly light breeze started coming up, we cut north, and we were on the same line. And I think they passed us at night. We never saw them.
Okay. And prep for the trip, you guys were both running on tattered edges, I would imagine, trying to get all your other expectations completed beforehand. How did it come to be in the last few days?
Well, we were done. I had to go to Europe 2 weeks before the race for a week, so we had to be done by then. So that actually forced me to get done so that there was no hectic action at the end, which was really nice.
Okay.
And, we had a lot of people help us.
Okay.
Figures, Glenn Hansen was great, and Bill Doyle was awesome, and, Eric Steinberg and Peter King and all those guys, everybody sort of rallied and helped us out a lot to get the thing ready. And like I said, it worked out really well. Nothing stopped working and nothing broke, or, it was really good, actually.
Okay. And
we're really glad we got a new rudder.
Oh, okay. Oh, and there were a couple boats out there that have had rudder issues. And you guys had a E-rudder on a cassette in the back. Was that something unique that you had come up with, or is that kind of standard procedure if you have the room?
I'm ready. No, it's a standard setup. It's the only way you can get an emergency rudder on. And built it out of carbon. Rufus built it and did an awesome job. And we wouldn't have had the same problem as that 37's got right now.
Yeah.
Still out there. They built that system and they did everything so that it wasn't engineered properly, and the gussets just broke off the cassette.
Yeah.
So they borrowed a rudder mid-ocean. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we spent some money on that, obviously, some resource on a good emergency system, but primarily a brand new carbon stock and carbon rudder, so that we would be not having to worry about emergency rudder.
Okay. And traveling 2,070 miles with your spouse is quite an adventure by itself. What makes it work for you two? How do you guys get along out there, and how does the dynamics of that work?
No, we don't. It's great. Ultimately, it's because they trust each other, so we can actually go to sleep when it's time to go off watch. I think that's, and Melinda's an awesome driver, and so we can go, like I said, flat out, ripping along, and I can go down below and go to sleep.
Okay.
And not have to stress about it and not have to come up and clean up any messes.
Okay. And
So it's nice. And we, I don't know, we get along really well. So we, you know, if one person is really tired, the other person will give them a little less sleep, and vice versa. And we adjusted the watch schedules 2 on, 2 off when it was really windy and hard, and 3 on, 3 off when it was mellow. And sometimes we'd give an extra hour to the other person, like I said. And it was nice. It was easy.
okay.
And food was good. Freeze-dried thing great. Got some mountain air, mixed it with the mountain house, and changed it up a little bit, and the food was great. So it was easy to cook, and the food was decent.
Okay. And you guys pretty much agree when it's time for sail changes and navigation maneuvers and whatnot?
Yeah, exactly. We talked about if we had to make a move, what we would do, and yeah, it was easy. Decision making was pretty easy there, and sail changes were pretty. We had a crossover chart we did a little bit of work on, and we modified it slightly during the trip, but it was pretty obvious when you needed to change, so
Okay.
that was easy.
Okay. Highlights of the trip?
The sort of the middle of the trip, we had one night of really windy, and that was fun. And then the last Saturday night, the last night we were out, we had, again, the beginning of that gale, we had a lot of breeze all night long, and with the kite up, and we just blasted. I mean, just absolutely ripped. In fact, both of us stayed awake for half the night, because it was the last night. We figured we could just push it, and it was like a little better to have people on deck.
Right.
And we didn't really want to wing out a jib, because we wanted to, it was sort of coming back from the standing of the whole race. We wanted to give it a good nudge at the end, and so we put the kite up until sort of next morning, instead of pumping the 32, it was pumping the 38.
Uh-huh.
And I did a biggest roadie ever.
Uh-huh.
And we snuck the kite and dropped it and put the 4 up. We were headed just enough that we could plane with the 4. They actually hit 20 a few times with the 4 in the front. And anyway, it was really cool. The other one, we had a whale swim up from behind us, swim under the boat, and then parallel us 2 boat lengths away. For a while, I had that on video.
Uh-huh.
And big whales. That was kind of cool. And then pretty much that was it. It was a lot of drifting. Took our sails down for a while because it was sliding so hard.
Mm-hmm. Those would be the lowlights, in your opinion.
Those are the low lights.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the first 36 hours were depressing, dude.
Yeah. Did you ever have...
Waiting for the big boat to start getting off the coast.
Were you at any point in time at the early stages thinking maybe this isn't going to happen, we need to go back?
And we downloaded the grid. We ran Expedition on a ruggedized laptop, and we had a pretty deep-sized panel mounted on, good cells mounted onto this plastic piece that we could put up on deck during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 3 times we had to charge with a gas-powered generator.
Okay, so you did have a power generator down below that you...
Yeah, we put it up on deck as an ice chest.
Uh-huh.
And we would put it up the cockpit, tie it on, and open it up, fire the thing off. And then the driver, the helmsman, could flip the lid closed at the wave point.
Ah, okay.
And we ran it for 2 one-hour sessions, and then one day we had the rough weather in the middle for one day. We couldn't run it, kind of needed it, and so there's no solar really happening for us. So after that, it got light again. We're drifting. We ran it for 2 hours. So 4 hours for the whole trip wasn't bad.
Okay.